and I'm gonna be cordial because Myron, I really respect and care about Myron as a brother. I see him that way. So I'm not gonna entertain this beef anymore or whatever. It's just that's it. Keep playing with me. I got videos for days. Haram police, get this nigga. He's using my religion to try to discredit me and saying that he has ammunition to go and ruin my career. Hope you know what this means. This means the whole time he's like, this I could use against him. He was looking at me with some jealousy and some hate the entire time. Because I never think about that. I never think about this when it comes to my friends. I got dirt on you. Yeah, no, it's very feminine. This is what girls do.
Sneako is realizing.
Yeah. Fresh exposes Sneako for being a grifter. Okay. Video by Omeezy. Let's check it out.
No matter what, I'm never going to be friends with Walter Weeks again. Sure, things could be squashed or whatever. We could sort things out. And I'm going to be cordial because Myron, I really respect and care about Myron as a brother. I see him that way. So I'm not gonna entertain this beef anymore or whatever. It's just that's it. Keep playing with me. I got videos for days. Haram police, get this nigga. He's using my religion to try to discredit me and saying that he has ammunition to go and ruin my career. Hope you know what this.
No, not the bromance.
Oh shit! Hold up. This is what Walter tweeted. I can play dirty, me lie about you for what? Keep playing with me. I got videos for days. Haram police, get this nigga. Okay. Yeah, well, personally, from my perspective, I never thought Sneako and Fresh were cool like that.
And saying that he has ammunition to go and ruin my career. Hope you know what this.
No, not the bromance of a lifetime. Sneako falling out with Walter. Who would have saw this coming? Look, predicting the collapse of the red pill community is something that I've been doing on this channel for a long time now. Whether it be the death of some of the favorite content creators, people being demonetized and demoralized in the public view, you know, the curtain getting peeled back on their real lives, or even some of the friendships in the red pill community dissolving seemingly at the hands of, I don't know, grown-up thinking, new ideologies, growth and development. And now with the latest and greatest fallout being Walter and Sneako, which really wouldn't have saw this coming. I had Myron and Walter at the first portion of my bingo board in the first portion of 2025, but Walter and Sneako falling.
Nah. Walter is never breaking up with Myron. Myron's never breaking up with Walter, bro. That ain't happening. I don't see it happening. I know I've made a reaction to a video in the past saying, oh, da-da. But when you really think about it, Myron is too loyal. Look, there are a lot of criticisms that you could level at Myron. And really, I just wish he didn't go down this weird anti-black route, bro. Even though I don't fuck with the anti-Jewish rhetoric, not even necessarily because there aren't legitimate criticisms that you could possibly make about specific individuals or specific groups, but he is too general when he speaks about these groups, and so I don't like that. But I can't cap, bro. It's really the anti-black shit, the monkey shit that he be doing, why I don't fuck with Myron no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a shame, because outside of that, I would agree with bro on so many things. You feel me? I don't know what happened to this dude. But that aside, you know what I'm saying? There are good qualities about Myron that I respect. And one of those things is that he is a loyal person. It's not too many loyal people in the world these days. I'm lucky. All of my good friends are incredibly loyal people. But I've interacted with many of people who I thought were my friends who turned out not to be loyal. And so I can respect that when I see that a dude really stands 10 toes down for his boys. And so Myron is too loyal, and Walter, he ain't gonna leave that what they've built, fresh and fit. So as long as fresh and fit is still a thing, that ain't breaking up. And as long as it's profitable, it ain't gonna stop, bro.
Out. The people are asking, how did this happen? What could have happened so bad that these two dudes who have been talking down on women, talking down on Jews, talking down on black people could fall out? Now, this is Walter showing off that he is willing to record videos, put them in stash, and then bring them back out for his own nefarious purposes. And we'll get into the whole Haram police comment in 2 seconds, but I do think that it is strange that people do things like this, you know, when they pull out these videos or context or thought processes that they've had about you from a long time ago, and use them as some sort of ammunition and some sort of beef. Look, I believe when people get mad at somebody or they get angry at somebody, they show their true colors. So if you truly feel about me that I'm some degenerate, etc., you will have had always felt that, and it will show once you get mad at me for this specific situation. And to be,
I don't agree with that. I think when people get upset, they oftentimes say things that they don't mean, especially if they are very emotional or immature. I think we've all done that to people we love and care about. There may be a little bit of truth in the dig, but oftentimes if we are really upset and we're really trying to cut that person, we gas it. We put a little extra on top of it for the sake of trying to hurt them. And so I wouldn't necessarily agree with that.
fair to Walter in this situation, he has been sprinkling some of his thoughts about Sneako for a very long time now.
Yeah. The problem is he saw a trail, which I spoke about, just in person on our show, of money and different genres. Yeah. And I was like, Sneako, you're like a leaf in the wind. You're going here, here, everywhere. And no, bro, trust me, just stick to one.
The way he's saying I'm a leaf in the wind, the way I see it is like, I literally can't be the person to repeat the same talking points for 5 years straight. I can't do it. I would go insane. That's how he approaches it. He's like, this is a business. I'm going to say these things, talk about simping, and this is my thing. If I talked about simping 5 times a week for multiple years, I would lose my fucking mind. The reason I got into content creation is to be creative and is to make something cool. Approaching it like these are the talking points that I'm going to turns it into a job, and that's exactly why I didn't get a job. I didn't want to be the robot plugging in the same fucking thing. Yeah, I make vlogs. Yeah, I stream. Yes, I talk about relationships. Yes, I talk about religion. I talk about everything because that's what I'm interested in everything.
But again, where's the...
Yeah, I don't even think that's a criticism. You are interested in multiple things. How is that a criticism? Sneako he's still red pill. It's watered down red pill because it's tempered with fundamentalist religion, in his case, Islam. So Sneako is pro-marriage and pro-having a family and all that stuff. And that stuff's great. It's a very legitimate way to chart your life. That's the path I'm on, even though I am not a religious person. I'm happily married and plan to stay married till I die to my beautiful wife. But he's still red pill. He's still red pill aware, like I am. I understand that there are certain ways that you just shouldn't move with women, and you should move with women, whatever. He's still Muslim. I don't think his position on the Jewish community has changed. He literally just put out a documentary with Myron talking about how JFK was killed by Israel, etc., etc., etc. I haven't really seen Sneako switch up like that. I've seen him mature. I've seen him evolve. I've seen his positions become more nuanced. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the risk of glazing, I'm a move on.
The money going?
And also, that's just a fucking lie, Fresh. If I was going where the money was going, then why the fuck would I talk about the Jews like you're saying? What the fuck are you talking about? If I was going where the money was going, would I start talking about red pill? Like, bro, what is he talking about? My friend's going on the jumper and saying that I go where the money goes. Why am I vlogging for free on X, Fresh? 101 vlogs in a row for free. What the fuck are you talking? Right after Flacco says, yo, these vlogs are amazing, that I make no money.
I'll be real. Fresh is just reaching for the grifter accusation. It's literally the accusation that everybody levels at any YouTuber that gives his opinions or her opinions that you don't like. Oh, I don't like this person's opinions. Grifter. You're a grifter. And so kind of strange that that's what Fresh is going to reach for. But in reality, I think Fresh is jealous of Sneako for a number of reasons. Not least of all, I think it's pretty clear that Myron admires Sneako more than he admires Fresh. I'm sure they're boys. I'm sure Myron has love for Fresh and vice versa. But clearly, Myron respects and admires Sneako more for clear reasons. And so because of that, I think Fresh, and many other reasons as well, Fresh is jealous of Sneako. So, yeah.
for. Fresh like, Sneako goes where the money goes.
So it's basically this idea that Sneako is some money-hungry grifter who's been floating left, right, and sideways. Hell, even people are saying these same things when Sneako was seen at Aiden Ross's boxing event and he started talking to women, because now this goes against the ideology of him being a Muslim and make sure that he's maintaining this specific lifestyle. I think a lot of this stuff is overblown.
That's bullshit. Show me a perfect religious man. I can show you pastors that cheat on their wife. Huh? So that's insane. But again, people look for any reason to criticize people.
And a part of the reason why the red pill community itself sucks is because if you don't follow these rigid and strict guidelines by somebody who moves the goalpost further back than the person before them, then all of a sudden you're no longer red pill, no longer a man, no longer masculine, no longer any of
no true Scotsman fallacy right there.
These things. All I'm trying to say is, if you felt this way in the past about me, if you felt that I was some sort of haram police violating person or some sort of grifter or whatever, then say that. What Walter said just doesn't make any sense. And I think that's the reason why Myron stays silent in the whole conversation, because dude, you're bugging right now. Now, me personally, just consuming some of the interactions that Sneako and Walter have had in the past, it just seems to be very clear to me that they don't always see eye to eye. Really, the relationship is based off of Myron, which a lot of people have been saying about Fresh and Fit for a while now, is that it's Myron's show. But when Sneako and Walter are forced to interact with each other,
yeah, Myron's definitely the A mic. There's no doubt about that.
Because, you know, business needs as business does. It always just feels forced, cringy, and weird.
You going to the mall? You're going to at the mall.
We're having an eating contest.
Okay, you're going to win.
Shut up.
You already won. There's no point. Go to the mall.
I will. Thank you.
You love the mall.
Yeah, I love the mall.
A little bit, but the guy I was.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Yeah. See, Fresh has the same problem that most people have, that almost everyone has experienced at some point, until you come into the understanding that your reality is shaped by what you believe about yourself and the world you live in. People who don't understand that and grasp that seek validation outside of themselves. And the less power that they perceive to have within them internally, the more they seek validation from the outside. And Fresh clearly does not have that understanding. And so you can see in all these different ways how he's seeking validation from various people. And that's what we just saw right there. It made it awkward. It made it cringe. That's really what's going on.
My body physically hurts from the cringe.
That's why, you know, the stories about banging 100 bitches and being invited to orgies by NFL stars and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? That's where a lot of that is coming from, is seeking validation from outside of yourself.
It literally hurts. Now, Sneako's probably having the roughest go as far as getting away from the red pill community goes. Both communities aren't necessarily approving of this. The other side of things saying, hey, you sold out, we don't accept you anymore. He's talked about trying to pivot from that red pill audience and how his new audience isn't necessarily liking it. And then there's also the side of the red pill community who is saying that he is still grifting and seeing through these things. But just like I said earlier, this is not the first time Walter has gone at him for his tendencies and his ways. Even when they were close enough to be on the same platform, Walter tried to make him understand that I believe, Walter, that Sneako, you are a grifter.
You know why I think that's bullshit?
Why?
I know you very well, Sneako. I knew you for quite a while. You go from genre to genre based on how they benefit you in the moment, right?
What did you say?
You go from genre to genre, which is like the, I want to say, not genre, but like different types of like content based on your current situation. Mm-hmm. For example, you did the stuff about being free-spirited, where you can be creative and give your opinions on topics.
And I still do. I just made a documentary
and then
about
you went from that to Red Pill.
And I'm still here on a Red Pill podcast right now.
No, but you just talked shit about us the other day. And then
I didn't talk shit about you.
No, the Red Pill itself.
Yeah, I've been talking shit about the vasectomy thing for over a year.
Yeah, but you were in the same group. Anyway.
I'm still here. I'm still on your podcast right now.
No, but there's no girls here. The point is, you go from topic to topic. I'm just saying, if you were still on YouTube, I guarantee you say the whole thoughts in the OnlyFans thing, that may be a component, but that would not be the only thing that you do on YouTube.
He's not a flip-flop. He's a flip-flop company. Been making his money on flip-flopping like that. And it's not so much that, oh yeah, being on the fence or being, oh, you know, you're leveled. No, you're in between. You're center. No, is that it's from one extreme to the other. It's not no leveling. It's always like boom bop, boom bop, boom bop. Whatever we not said about this kid. It's the same thing that repeats over. It's a cycle that repeats itself. And then he's going to go into another tangent. It's just that.
But this is just a taste of your own medicine. And I've got to be quite honest with you. The only time that you're getting a taste of your own medicine like this is because of this community, the Red Pill community. This would not be the first time in which, you know, you went onto these people's platforms, you became friends with them, started kicking with them and parlaying with them, and then things went sour.
Address something from Andrew Tate. There's a lot that I can say. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to attack back or to insult back. Obviously, I agree with a lot of the message. Apparently, have some disagreements with the messenger. I resonate with a lot of what he says. Do I think it makes sense to go insulting, you know, name calling and belittling the work that I do? No. Does that make me want to go and criticize or maybe call out hypocrisy? Yes, but I think there's something more important right now, especially when, like, we're both getting attacked. Me and Andrew are both getting blamed for manipulating the youth. That's what they're saying, to turn them into misogynists and homophobes and all this garbage. They're blaming murders. Like, they're saying that what happened in England today is our fault. We agree on so much that it doesn't make sense to go and pick fights with one another and have beef with one another. Which actually, like, hearing that, I was surprised. It's like right now, out of all times.
But I will say this does speak to Sneako's waffling over the past couple of years. This is a byproduct of the actions that you get. You go into these situations, you make non-genuine relationships, non-genuine friendships, and then once you leave or just have a different opinion or different philosophy, or hell, in this situation, just want to do things slightly different, talk a little different, etc., you get called out for it. It would be different if Walter was saying, hey, I want to keep Sneako true to his religion and, you know, make sure that he's not doing haram things. So I want to encourage him to stay away from the cigarettes, encourage him to stay away from the women. But
look, all I can say about Sneako is, from my perception, he's not a grifter. He has been genuine and authentic in all the various things that he has preached and believed. I do think we see a very relatively rapid evolution and nuancing of his various positions. And I can keep it 1,000. A big part of the reason why I think I can see that in Sneako is because I've seen it in myself. But of course, people who don't like you or don't fuck with you, they're not going to see it in a very charitable way. And that's where it is important to get all of your validation and all of your empowerment from yourself. So when those people criticize you and try to make you feel bad or think negatively about yourself because of something like this, you don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You give zero fucks, because you understand that everything is in your hands. You know, you got the whole world in your hands. When you understand that the power comes from within and is dependent on your mind.
he is doing these things, recording and putting it out on public later, just in order to shame you. But the only reason why he would do that is because the friendship was never genuine.
And I'm going to be cordial because Myron, I really respect and care about Myron as a brother. I see him that way. So I'm not going to entertain this beef anymore or whatever. It's just, that's it. Keep playing with me. I got videos for days. Haram police, get this nigga. He's using my religion to try to discredit me and saying that he has ammunition to go and ruin my career. Hope you know what this means. This means the whole time he's like, this I could use against him. He was looking at me with some jealousy and some hate the entire time. Cause I never think about that. I never think about this when it comes to my friends. I got dirt on you. Yeah, no, it's very feminine. This is what girls do.
Sneako is realizing.
Yeah.
In real time that his tour into the red pill community was probably way more detrimental than he thought it was going to be. Not only was he seemingly manipulated, not only did he lose a bunch of his already existing fan base, not only did he turn a bunch of people off, but in reality, the friendships that he made were probably more so used in a situation to get views and clicks and stuff like that. They knew that they could use your name. They knew that they could use your voice. They knew that they could use your audience in order to gain a bigger audience of younger people who are willing to give them cash money. But that doesn't mean that you were ever going to be absolved of the same harsh insecurities that they were going to put onto anybody and everybody. It just wasn't your day that day when you came around. But now that it is your day, you're going to get hit with the same shit. And don't get me wrong, I am on Sneako's side. Sneako sounds like the most level-headed person in all of these conversations. Everybody else sounds, I don't know, not self-aware or a little bit insecure in what they say. I just think it's kind of funny how, you know, these people don't usually have too much to say and they don't really criticize their own selves, and they're not self-aware to see that, like, hey, us in the red pill community can do some wrong. We, even when it comes to ourselves, but they rather just let that skate under the bridge and have somebody else call out somebody, but not them. But so now
yeah, that's all dogmatic, tribalistic groups. It's not unique to the red pill, but any philosophy, any group ideology where there is an us versus them, where there is an enemy, you're going to find that.
I hope that Sneako was seeing, especially through this beef, it's not just Andrew that doesn't fuck with you. It's not just Walter that doesn't fuck with you. Hell, it's also not just Myron that doesn't fuck with you, but it's the whole red pill community. Gang, you were used in order to help get the grift off to the younger people. They were always jealous. Like, a great majority of them were jealous. I'm not saying this to dick ride Sneako. Trust me, I'm not a Sneako dick rider. But it became clear to me when they could not get to the younger audience because people saw through the shenanigans that they were going to have to use somebody. And Sneako, you were the person that they...
I don't know if I agree with that. Fresh and Fit had a lot of motion. I don't think Fresh and Fit needed Sneako to reach the younger audience. I think they did that. They were doing that fine. Yeah, Sneako brought more, but I think Sneako genuinely believed in the red pill stuff to an extreme degree for a period of time. And so he aligned himself with those groups. I don't think they manipulated him and used him. They were in agreement. And now they're not in as much agreement. And so he might now receive some criticism from people in that space who are still very extreme with their red pill ideology. But that's how I see it. Let me know what you guys think about whatever I said. We made so many points. We touched on so many different things in this video. So you let me know how you feel about whatever in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe, all of that.